What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ross back at again with another video. So we're gonna check out truckers putting an end to police chase number 2. Now, I haven't seen too many clips of this happening, but the few clips that I have seen of where truckers are, I guess, aiding with the police in their attempt to apprehend someone, I would always advise most people to not get involved in that type of situation because obviously it can be dangerous for everyone involved. But I have seen some people, put on their cape and become a vigilante of sorts or somewhat of a hero in that moment. They'll use their truck because they're in a big ass truck, so they have the ability to stop most vehicles on the road and help the police apprehend whoever they're trying to capture. Once again, I would personally be like, hey, I don't know if you should be doing that. Be careful with that type of stuff because you can end up potentially messing up the whole pursuit by trying to help out. But we're going to check out some of these moments where truckers say, you know what? Don't worry, guys. I got your back. I'm going to do what I can to make sure this ends very quickly. Let's get right into it. Should be an interesting video, man.
For many people, a Friday night is synonymous with fun or even rest and relaxation. But for this man in Philadelphia, his weekend began with a police chase, half naked, aboard a stolen ambulance. It all started.
Police chase, half naked, in a stolen ambulance with like almost 12 cops behind him. All right, then. So many questions, such little time. All right.
Started around 9 p.m. after a report of domestic disturbances. At the scene, a man, apparently 40 years old, began a pursuit that would last more than an hour, driving through some of the busiest streets in the city. Throughout the entire chase, the suspect struck several civilian and police vehicles, trying to evade the dozens of patrol cars following closely behind.
Oh, damn!
These escape attempts ended with the suspect aboard the ambulance crashing directly into civilian vehicles and even patrol cars, injuring the officers.
Wow.
Seeing the resistance, a brave civilian decided to act to put an end to this agonizing situation. Aboard his tow truck, the man followed the suspect, positioning himself in front of him with the intention of breaking the ambulance's radiator using his rear lift boom so that it would overheat. During these maneuvers, the tow truck struck a front tire, causing the ambulance to gradually lose traction.
Wow.
This simple action allowed the police to stop the suspect. Later, in an interview, the recovery vehicle operator stated that his bravery was sparked by seeing the attacks against the police force, as his grandmother had been a police officer in that district.
Oh, wow.
Down in the 1st district, I wouldn't want that to happen to my grandmother.
Hey, that's crazy. That is crazy. He was able to use his tow truck and was able to get the person out of there. Yeah, they were definitely running amok. Glad that everyone was, for the most part, safe. Well, not safe, but for the most part, good. It didn't seem like it was too many serious injuries, even though you hate to see someone's car get messed up because someone is just out of their mind. But, hey, they was able to stop him.
Around 1 p.m., officers in Minneapolis spotted this car with a reported theft alert. Interestingly, this same vehicle was linked to a series of robberies in the area, so the police quickly responded to the emergency call.
Look like they in an Audi.
Upon realizing they were being chased, the suspects on board attempted to flee, driving for about 6 kilometers until they encountered a massive obstacle in the form of a bold truck driver. Noticing the scene, this brave trucker performed a simple yet effective maneuver to his right, cutting off the fugitives and causing them to crash into parked cars on the side.
Wow.
Almost immediately, the 4 suspects tried to flee on foot, 4 teenagers in total.
Come on, man.
Although 2 of the suspects initially managed to escape, all 4 were eventually taken into custody, while the car, along...
Buddy, where were you going? Where were you going? Running at that speed, where the hell did you think you was going to go, bro? You might as well just got out the car, put your hands behind your back.
With everything inside it, was secured by the police.
So I think, did they get...
Although 2 of the suspects initially managed to escape, all 4 were eventually taken into custody, while the car, along with everything inside it, was secured by the police.
Come on now. You was not getting away. Come on, bro. What are you... Not with those speeds.
A call to the Chula Vista Police Department in California triggered this peculiar chase, which took place in the South Bay of San Diego. A suspect accused of making threats against a potential victim was linked to a gray minivan with a black stripe, which was driving at low
Oh yeah, no, that's easy to identify. Look at that.
speed through nearby streets.
Easy to identify.
Although officers attempted to speak with the suspect, the individual flatly refused to stop, thus initiating the pursuit.
A very slow pursuit. Oh, all right, now it's starting to pick up.
The chase
This
took
is where it
place on
gets dangerous.
Interstates 5 and 805 before heading toward Orange Avenue around 1:30 p.m. By that point, the driver proceeded to drive slowly and weave through side streets, ignoring all traffic signals and lane directions. On more than one occasion, the minivan slowly drove through shopping center parking lots, with up to 10 police SUVs following closely behind.
That is
Everything came to an end
crazy.
shortly before 2 p.m., when the suspect tried to exit another parking lot in a residential complex and ran straight into a Cisco delivery truck blocking his path.
Oh, he was stuck.
As he tried to turn the vehicle and escape over the sidewalk, 2 SUV vehicles sped in to block the way. These turned out to be unmarked police vehicles from which plainclothes officers emerged.
Oh yeah, he was cooked. Get out the car.
Finally, the officers managed to pull the suspect out of the vehicle
God
by opening
damn.
the minivan's sliding door. Although it was later necessary to restrain and immobilize him,
eventually put on a stretcher and into an ambulance. And that van was...
what
My boy
began as
had,
a warning for failing to yield at
Had a decent wanted level out there, huh?
an intersection ended with a dramatic accident near the heart of Los Angeles, California.
Whoa.
In this case, the suspect was linked to a domestic disturbance incident in the residential area of Santa Barbara. After locating the suspect in Ventura County at approximately 6 p.m., officers began pursuing the black 2021 GMC Denali along the highways toward the San Fernando Valley and eventually onto the 5 freeway. This scene quickly turned into a high-speed chase as the fugitive, apparently 43 years old, reached speeds of up to 160 kilometers per hour.
Damn.
Tragically, this same speed was responsible for the suspect's capture, as near Lincoln Heights, the SUV crashed directly into a semi-trailer that was decelerating.
Damn.
Interestingly, the driver herself had previously changed lanes, only to find that fateful collision. After the crash, officers waited a couple of minutes before approaching the vehicle, as the interior was blocked by deployed airbags. Eventually, they managed to extract the driver, who appeared to be unconscious. Due to her condition, she was promptly attended to by paramedics and transported to the nearest hospital.
Yeah, that was a head on.
As for the freeway,
That was like a head on. Well, I wouldn't say head on, but it was a full force collision. They just didn't adjust in time, and whoever was in the truck, they were slowing down. Don't know if they knew about the chase that was behind them. Whatever the case may have been, they slowed down. They weren't paying attention. Boom, rear-ended them right in the back of the semi.
it remained closed until 1 a.m. the following day.
That's an LA thing. That's why I try not to come down here.
Damn. Damn. He said that's a LA thing. Look at all that traffic.
The pursuit on screen is undoubtedly an exceptional case, as it took place in the Karvina region of the Czech Republic, something peculiar given that such chases are quite uncommon in Europe. The pursuit began after a clever 27-year-old foreigner had the brilliant idea of filling up his gas tank at a service station and then driving off without paying.
Wow.
After receiving the report, a police patrol immediately began to follow the suspect, who was driving a classic BMW sports car. Recklessly, he sped for several kilometers.
And the roads is slick. It looked like it's been raining for a while. This is a big recipe for disaster.
Putting other drivers at risk by performing extremely dangerous maneuvers, forcing oncoming vehicles to swerve out of the way. After the reckless BMW driver hit the gas and ignored all verbal and visual commands to stop, the officers radioed for support from another patrol unit further down the road.
Oh.
Upon receiving the call, the officers asked a truck driver in the area to literally block the road,
Yep.
stopping the reckless driver in his
And
tracks.
that's exactly what happened. And in that situation, obviously, they asked him, hey, could you do this for us? And, he ended up just, that's an easy fix or easy situation. Just, he blocked the street because they already had cops there. And now it looks like Buddy is cooked.
Fortunately, This didn't end badly as the BMW finally came to a stop in front of the massive obstacle, though not without offering some resistance.
Get your
The
ass
driver
up out the
attempted
car,
to
bro.
squeeze through a small gap, but was ultimately apprehended and arrested.
Yeah, get your
In
ass
his
out
testimony, he admitted it wasn't the first time he had committed this offense.
the car. Damn.
So after possibly serving time in prison, he may think twice before stealing fuel again.
Bro, just if you got a nice car that requires decent amount of fuel, just have the money for the fuel, bro. Don't get you a car that requires that much fuel. If you don't want to be spending that much on gas, bro, you shouldn't be getting certain cars.
Pulled out in front of me. He's coming from an alleyway, and as I got closer,
Running a red light was the cause of the pursuit and shocking conclusion to a brief but intense high-speed police chase in DeSoto, Texas. The 45-year-old robbery suspect was pulled over around 5:30 a.m. after running a red light. Although at first he appeared to comply with the officer, he quickly resisted arrest, even attempting to take the officer's weapon.
Oh, damn.
when I do this, is when we reach him.
The suspect jumps back in his cab.
After a struggle and an attempt to subdue the suspect with a taser, the pursuit began toward Glen Heights.
90-mile red light.
Reaching speeds of over 160 kilometers per hour, the driver ran through every traffic sign and red light in his path
And this is very
until a cement
dangerous.
truck brought the chase to an end.
Oh!
The impact was so severe that the concrete truck, even while fully loaded, flipped over violently.
Oh my
As for the
God!
suspect, he was able to exit the vehicle but quickly collapsed due to his injuries. Paramedics later transported him to a hospital for emergency treatment.
Medics arrive and the cement truck driver both rushed to the hospital.
Damn it! This is why I say, hey man, if you have an opportunity, pull over, bro. Don't get back in that vehicle because obviously other people don't know that you're, in a high pursuit chase, and look how that ended. So,
As if it were an action movie, this video shows how a truck from the transport company Aero Transcorp becomes part of a relatively high-speed chase. After changing lanes in response to the sirens of the pursuing patrol cars, the truck driver was quickly approached by a police unit, whose officers politely asked him to maintain a steady speed in relation to them without changing lanes.
oh, that makes sense. Because now he's boxed in. He or she, they have nowhere to go. Because if he moves over, they can get over. If he stays at constant speed, they have an officer in front of him. Yeah, he's cooked. He's boxed in. He or she, they can't go nowhere.
Thanks to this action, it was possible for all the vehicles to box in a Honda Odyssey that was trying to flee from the officers,
Yep.
gradually reducing speed until it finally came to a stop.
Yep.
Once at a moderate speed, the truck driver was able to move into the shoulder lane, allowing the patrol cars to fully surround the suspect.
Yeah.
After the arrest, the trucker continued his route as usual, though not before becoming the hero of the situation.
Yeah, they got him. I'm like, all right, man. I'll see y'all boys later. I gotta go ahead and drop off this the load I have in the back of the trailer, man. Hey, they don't pay me to be a hero.
Backup in both directions.
A
Damn.
massive traffic jam was the result of a standoff and pursuit on Highway 91 toward Anaheim Hills. The tense moments began in the town of Corona, when officers from that department attempted to stop a man on alleged harassment charges. Later, the
Jesus.
police clarified that the suspect had even violated a restraining order, making him a high-risk individual. This led to the entire highway being shut down when the man finally stopped in the center lane on the westbound side
Look
of Highway
at that,
91.
bro. They got the,
first direct-
SWAT team. Bro, look at you, bro. You would think this man has weapon of mass destruction in his trunk. Look at all the cop cars. 3 SWAT vehicles.
Consequence was a massive traffic jam, as thousands of drivers were traveling for the Memorial Day weekend. After surrounding the blue sedan with a pair of SWAT armored vehicles, the negotiation team communicated with the 40-year-old suspect via cell phone. Tragically, after several hours barricaded inside the vehicle,
Yeah, that last clip I may have to take out. I'm probably have to take out that last clip because the last one that ended horribly. So I'm gonna just go ahead and take that out. But basically, yeah, an individual, was not trying to comply, and he did some things to himself, man, which is very unfortunate. And I hate to, even hear stuff like that, you know, I always feel like there's another way out. There's always another way out, instead of taking that path. So that's very unfortunate. But this is one of those things where it's like, hey, man, I say this at the beginning of every single video. If you have an opportunity to pull over, get out, listen to what the officers say, make it easy on yourself and everyone else around you. But comment down below, let me know some other car related videos y'all want me to check out. I definitely will. I appreciate all love, support. Road to 20K, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.